Hey, today we're talking about how you can use the Facebook ads algorithm to start getting you high ticket customers coming to you directly. Most people will tell you that you have to build out a bunch of low ticket offers, build out a huge following. But I'm going to show you today a key example on how you can not only again, think of Facebook as kind of like your partner and let them qualify the right people and disqualify the right people by having the right Facebook ad copy, but also video that goes along with that. I'll show you a key example within the real estate space that just kind of came to mind to me that I came across in the last few days that kind of brings this to life a little bit more. And then I can show you how to build on it as well, like whether you're in real estate or outside of that, how you can use some of these key concepts. So if you're selling a high ticket program, so I'm talking a 5K, 10K, 20K or above in terms of that price point, maybe it's a mastermind, maybe it's one-to-one coaching, maybe it's group coaching, whatever it is. Like if you're running Facebook ads, we don't want to run our ads in the same way that you would run a low ticket offer. We want to make sure that we are dispelling all those freebie seekers, all those people that don't have the resources to get into your program. You don't want to be jumping on sales calls or interacting or paying for all these leads that just aren't the right fit. So a key part of that will just be the qualifying process and getting people in the door. And you have to really signal to Facebook, okay, these are the type of people that I want to be put in front of and who not to be put in front of. And this example will kind of bring it to life a little bit more. So I'm Brian Czekanski. I help people scale up their high ticket coaching offers. A lot of times in the last few weeks, I've been focusing on the real estate space. So taking a look at some of the ads there over the next few days and weeks, I'll show you a couple different more examples of what's working well, some mistakes that I've seen within the real estate space that people are maybe unconsciously or consciously doing. So be really helpful in that, but also work in other spaces like weight loss, personal development, and other areas, really working with coaches that have those email list or followings of people, of low ticket buyers, and really helping them monetize into their high ticket programs without any sales calls whatsoever. I use email and a Google Doc to interact with your audience, have one-to-one email conversations, and get them into your program. And I do that without any upfront investment. So I take on all the risk by doing that. And so you have no real upfront commitment, no risk in doing that. I want to prove that I can close these high ticket customers for you in a simple test, and then moving on to really monetizing and especially if you're running Facebook ads, being able to re-engage, but also bring back some of those dead leads that you thought you had paid for maybe a couple of years before, re-engage them in a sales conversation in my email and Google Docs process and get them into high ticket customers for you. So you only pay me for the high ticket customers that I'm able to close for you. So I'm just going to pull up one example that kind of came across my news feed just in the last day to give you an example of what it looks like, what it looks like in terms of like what a good Facebook ad is. So like for this one, Kent Clothier selling his boardroom mastermind. He's like, if you look at him, take a look at that. You can look at the followers right here on this screen, 234K followers. So just in terms of Facebook, if you look on YouTube, he's doing giant numbers there. So again, like just using as an example of like, okay, if you're just starting out in terms of your mastermind, it's obviously important to build up your credibility, to know that your process works. But we can use some of the key fundamentals. Say I was just launching a new real estate high ticket offering right now. What are some of those key characteristics that I could pull away? Maybe you're a successful real estate investor and you have that credibility of flipping houses or investing in land or whatever it is. Like if you have that credibility and you want to start a new mastermind or start a new group program or one-to-one coaching right now, and we want to run Facebook ads to scale that up as quickly as possible and to get that moving as quickly as possible, start building up your email list as quickly as possible. How would you do it? Let's start with the Facebook ads here. So like one of the key things that you'll see here, one thing I would say as well is like in selling our high ticket program, we want to start to build affinity with our audience. We want to build that know, like, and trust factor, introduce yourself, build up that relationship, because once they get to the point where they're ready to fill out an application or get to if they're having a one-to-one sales conversation with me or getting on the phone with one of your sales team members, we want to build up that affinity even before they get there, because we want to pre-sell them as much as possible. So we want to really introduce you and whoever you are and build up that credibility in before even doing that, kind of from the very start. So I would also like always say, like, you obviously have your Facebook ad copy, the written copy, but also utilize this space here. So he's got like he's got a video that kind of introduces him. So like, if they don't read that written copy, they get an introduction to him within this video. If they've never been exposed to him before, they get a good sense of what his personality is like, the type of people that might be associated with him. And the great part about that is, like, they might read the written copy and be like turned off by it, or further engaged for it. Same thing for the video. Maybe they read the ad copy and they're like, I don't know if this is for me, but then they watch the video and like, oh, this guy has the right personality, he's talking about the right things. Like that could get them over the line. So like building that affinity from the very start. I talked about that about a week ago, in terms of like building up that relationship with your audience, building a relationship with your leads. Super important, especially in the crowded space like real estate coaching. Let's get that going as much as possible. So again, like one of the key things that he does as much as possible is qualify people. Like, who do I actually want in my boardroom mastermind? He talks about the 1% of people. That's not who he's focusing on. He's really focusing on this 4% of people, and kind of disqualifying all those 95% of people. So if you're a beginning real estate investor, he doesn't really want to talk to you. He's talking about these 4% of people that have kind of, they're past that beginning stage, but they haven't got to the point where they're at the top elite level of what they're looking for altogether. So it's really specific in terms of like who he's going after. And then as you go through the funnel, as you click through the ads, he's qualifying more and more and more. And one of the great things about this as well is he's talking, like, he's using some of these benefit statements. So he talks about building a highly scalable business that'd be 10x your lifestyle with having you spend more time in the weeds. So again, he's talking about a lifestyle change, not only about the money, but going back to his own story about, like, his story is all about like how he was just completely pouring himself into the business, and how that kind of led to a lot of destruction in his life. So again, if you can bring your story, your individual story of success and failure, and bring in some vulnerability there, we want to start to build that affinity. We want to start to connect with the people that are right with you. And then the other part as well is like start to introduce a mechanism. So this is what he does right here in terms of creating those 5 exits. And again, it's very much connected to the hook that he has here in terms of like spending less time in your business or less time in the weeds, like talking about these exits in terms of like going from doer to delegator. It's like really stepping back from your business, allowing you to have more freedom and time, and those kind of things. So like this would just be a key example. So again, I would advise you just go on a Facebook ads library. I'm not going to go through it in detail here, just because I don't have the time, but like, here's kind of 3 key examples. Number 1, use your story as much as possible. Allow people to kind of get into your world. Use some vulnerability in terms of your failures and successes. Tie that to the hook or the main benefit that you're looking to get your real estate investors, in this case, into the door. Is it just about earning more money? In this case, it was all about kind of like stepping back from the business and being able to enjoy more money, but being able to enjoy the time and freedom that comes along with that. Tying it into a story, talks about some of the losses that he experienced over time and those kind of things as you go through his funnel. So super important. Use that vulnerability, use your story as much as possible. And the final part is really qualifying people. So like, again, we don't want those people that don't have the resources. So you'll see as you go through his funnel, as you go through the written copy, the video copy, he makes it really clear, like, this is not for a beginner. This is not for the person that's just starting out, that doesn't have the resources right now. This is, it's not for the person that has been in the game and is making a ton of money either. Like, I'm very clear on who I want in my mastermind, who I can help get to that next level. We're looking for, get you to that 4% to the top 1% by giving them the systems and accountability and all those things that come through in the boardroom mastermind. So keep that really clear in terms of like what you're trying to do here. Qualify people as much as possible from the very start. Build that affinity by using your story, and then really tying that into a specific mechanism. Like, how are they going to get that result? How is this different from everything else? Like in looking at real estate coaches, particularly over the last few weeks, that's the key part that they're missing, is that they're kind of bringing through like, oh, I've done really well in the real estate space for the last 5-10 years, done all these deals, but like, what's different, what's missing, what differentiates your coaching business from all the other ones that are out there. That mechanism is super important to doing out there, and you got to either tease it out or introduce it here in your Facebook ad copy and in that video. And those kind of components will allow you and continue to do that as people go through the funnel. So as they go to the landing page and see further videos, let's further qualify people, let's further expand on your story, and let's further dig into, let's further tease out why your mechanism is going to come through in your program and get people the results that they're looking for, and why this program is different than any other program that they might have out there along the way. So super quick example that I want to just bring through that had all the components that I was thinking about bringing through. So if this was helpful, hit that like button on whatever you're watching for right now. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube if you're watching it there. Always talking about high ticket coaching and scaling up your high ticket program. Be talking a little bit more about real estate over the next few days and weeks. So look for a few more examples there. And with that, I'll see you on a future live.